Assalamualaikum, everyone. Does everyone have their mirrors? Who likes what they see in the mirror? Put your mirror up. Who likes what they see? A little less than half. You know, we talk about family manners, and thank you, Anima, for a lot of amazing points. And one of the things that I learned as a psychologist, and I initially specialized in relationships, that we teach about connecting with other people, connecting with our family, connecting with our spouse, connecting with our kids, connecting with our friends. But one of the things that I realized that no one ever teaches you is actually how you connect with yourself. And, it was about 20 years ago, just to give you, not to expose my age here, but I read Imam Ghazali's book called The Alchemy of Happiness. And in it said, and translation is, knowing thyself, you know your Lord. And to be quite honest with you, it took me probably 5 to 7 years to really understand what that meant. And as I continued on my journey to becoming a psychologist, what I learned is self-awareness is not very easy. We are great at pointing out the flaws in others, but we're not really good at pointing out the flaws that we have in ourselves in the sense that we're aware of them. Most people think they think very highly of themselves, or if they don't think that way of themselves, they rarely admit it. So the reason why I'm being very intentional about having you hold up a mirror to your face, because I'm actually going to use this time for you to actually spend some time to actually look inside. I'm obsessed with brain science because it really legitimizes the stuff that we're doing from a mental health perspective. And what they have found from a neuroscience perspective is there's actually a reflective muscle here that's in the middle part of your cortex. That muscle for that brain is actually quite necessary to build in order to actually be emotionally mature. For most people, that brain muscle is actually underdeveloped. And unless you actually have self-reflection, which is a very Islamic concept, you cannot actually know yourself. So the looking in the mirror, while it seems like a vanity perspective, is actually quite critical. And it actually was inspired by one of my patients. So I'm going to go over 3 things, and I'm trying to keep this, because I'm the person standing between you and Orson and Nan here, so no pressure. So 15 minutes, I have the time police is going to tell me when the time's up. We're going to do some looking in the mirror, get maybe a couple of you to kind of share what they see, and talk about, some of the scientific benefits of this, because there's a lot of benefits. This actually was inspired by a patient who actually she considered herself a selfie addict. And one of the things that she would do was obsess. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, you name it, she was a selfie addict. So one time she came to me and was more or less about self-esteem. I said to her, can you just take out your phone and I want you to take a picture of yourself. This time I don't want you to smile. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I just want you to look at yourself. And she's like, but I don't know how to do that. Like, what do you mean? She's posing, and I'm like, no, I just want you to just straight face, look at yourself. And then she just started crying. And she said, I don't like what I see. And the interesting thing is that most of us don't even realize how negative we are to ourselves. So then I said to her, besides your beautiful eyes, your lashes, your lips, what do you see inside? And she said nothing. We can't connect to our family or to our friends or to anyone if we don't know how to connect to ourselves. And if we don't connect to ourselves, how are we going to connect to our Lord? So every time, and I hope every single person in here, every time they actually see a mirror, they will never look at a mirror the same again. What the science has found, how many people avoid looking in the mirror? I'm one of them. I don't like to look in the mirror. And there's some people that actually do like looking in the mirror, but they actually obsess about it. And it's more just to kind of critique themselves, fix themselves. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, look at this, let me change this. What would happen if every time you looked in the mirror, you actually looked beyond the surface level and actually said, what am I feeling today? Your face will expose that. When you look in the mirror, I look tired, didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm anxious, I'm scared. I'm not feeling very good about myself. These are the conversations we need to start having with ourselves. You know, I'm always fascinated because, you know, with Thanksgiving or different holidays, you're hanging out with your family. We don't talk to each other. But we can't talk to each other because guess what? We don't talk to ourselves. So why are we surprised? We want intimate relationships, but we don't have it with ourselves. And it really starts with the family, with each one of you making a commitment to know yourself. And the mirror is a great tool to start having that conversation with yourself. Now, who wants to kind of put themselves on the spot and share with us, when you actually look in the mirror, what do you see? Go ahead.
A survivor.
A survivor. Beautiful. Anyone else?
Aging.
Aging. Back, someone back. What was that?
Lifeless.
Blessed. Okay, beautiful. Go ahead.
A confident person.
A confident person.
Pray for my Allah confidence for the face. Allah Mahsan the Hulki, the Husn Hulki, the Allah.
Okay. Who wants to be vulnerable and share with us something a bit more negative? Yes?
Restless.
Restless.
Very impatient with people who don't produce anything.
Impatient. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yes? Needs to do more work on themselves. Potential. Good.
Stressed and exhausted.
Stressed and exhausted.
Tired, feeling haven't done enough.
Tired, feeling haven't done enough. See, here's the irony. If you don't accept yourself where you're at, you can't grow. Most people want to start at confident, but the truth of the matter is very few of us are. Most people want to start at thinking that they're, you know, beautiful and attractive, but if you have to admit to yourself, you think you're ugly, you got to start there. We're not talking about toxic positivity, oh, I'm wonderful, I'm great. No, it's being raw and real. You can hold two truths. You can feel ugly and pretty at the same time, but it's learning to hold both sides of the coin. So, I keep to wrap this up a little bit. The benefits. Here's the interesting thing, though. I did a little research to there's actually a profession called mirror gazing. There are people that do this for a living. They actually go around and they actually have clients where they spend time where they actually do a meditative practice. There's even a book on it by Louise Hayes. And what the science has found is that there's 3 benefits of this. Number 1, you become aware of your negative self-talk. 90% of our internal mind chatter is quite negative. Number 2, you actually start noticing what your feelings are. You cannot learn about yourself if you don't know what you're feeling. Most of us live our lives disconnected from the neck down. We live our lives in our head. Emotions are stored in the body. Feeling sad, feeling ugly, feeling scared, feeling inferior, that's all in the body. You have to feel those emotions. And the third thing is what they have found, though, is that in getting to know yourself, especially the ugly sides and the negative things you're saying to yourself, only then can you actually not only improve your self-esteem, but also improve your relationship with yourself and with those around you. Looking inside has to be the motive for each one of us today. And it's actually looking inside below the neck. Not on the physical part, but on the internal part. 2 more slides and I think we're going to wrap it up. So the key takeaway is, a positive relationship with yourself is not about vanity. It's really, it takes effort, and with practice, fortunate things, we all have mirrors in our homes, we're looking at them every day, but changing it, taking it at a deeper level. Notice what you are actually saying to yourself and what you're feeling. Mel Robbins, who's a famous author, has the 5 habits, the high five habit, where she actually talks about literally high-fiving yourself. And neurologically, you can't actually give yourself a fake high five. Everybody try to give themselves a high five. You have to really, to do a true high five, it has to be mind-body connected. You literally have to extend the full arm. It has to be where you actually embody it. So these are quick kind of, they call them biohacks, where it's an instant mood booster. Smiling at yourself in the mirror. So, in essence, if you don't like what you see, don't expect others to. We really need to change the lens of which we kind of start learning to have a relationship with ourselves, so we can actually learn to have a relationship with others and to have a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright, that's it.